So your skin is starting to look dirty. This is actually a really good sign that your routine is working, and usually it's a sign that you're getting your results fairly quickly. I got this comment the other day on my last video, and you know what? While I was editing the video, I was just like, my skin just looks so different. Like there were so many patches, and usually on video, sometimes like the time of day that I'm filming, it'll be like a little different as far as and what I'm wearing, like the color, how it reflects off the camera. But in this video, you could really see my skin, and so I was like, yeah, usually you can't see the patches so easily, and so the patches are getting bigger, and so this is a part of your routine actually working. Those lighter, that lighter newer skin on the bottom is going to start shining through, and that dark pigmentation on top, like for some people it's going to be something that you can't really, it's going to be something that's hard to notice in person. But even more so, even if you're like to take a picture of it, you're like, I kind of see it but I kind of don't. So when you start to have like a stark difference of between the color of the skin underneath to the skin on top, like your routine is really working. Like you're actually going to start going down a couple of shades. For a lot of us, getting through that I don't want to say like a permatan, but just the superficial layer on top is it takes some time. Like at first I would say between like after like the 3-month mark, that's when anything like if you had a little bit of a tan, that's going to start to go away, and so it's going to look like you're maybe going down a shade, but really it was just more of that, like that just have a superficial layer, and then after that you're gonna start to go a little more, but like you're still, for some people it's like you're still really not down an entire shade or two, and then when you start to get to where your skin is looking dirty, and yeah, that lighter skin on the bottom is basically what's going to be covering your entire body. There are things you can do to basically speed up this dirty looking skin period, where you're having these patches where you can see like the darker. So the shirt I'm wearing right now, well, and the time of day, it's harder to see, but you can definitely see around my arms, like right here, this part is a lot darker, and then I'll have like some white or lighter patches right up here, and the insides of my arm versus the outside of my arms, there's like some differences there. And I had told you guys maybe the other week that my thighs are finally starting. My thighs are just darker. I think it's because they're usually exposed more often, so if I wore longer pants, usually in my day-to-day life, I'm usually in something like a dress or a skirt or something like that, and then usually you guys get to see me just in my I'm going to bed clothes, or I'm just waking up clothes, or just like clothes that will show your skin, obviously, so you guys can see something on the video, but also just very relaxing clothes. But you definitely have to take into account what skin is getting exposed. And this isn't just like you being out and you're like out at the beach or at the pool like with friends. This is like what skin is getting exposed like on a daily, like so during your morning commute to work, or just during, I don't know, you could be watching someone's athletic game, you guys could be at a soccer game, you could be at like a football game, like if you're doing that every single week, then now you have a trend of where you need to wear certain things, because it's gonna definitely darken up certain areas darker than the rest of your body. Which having your body catch up, for some people it could be that your face is the darkest part of your body. For others it could be, well, my arms are really dark, but like if you look at my legs, my stomach, they're really light. Each person is going to differ. One of the quickest way to hurry and even things out would be a chemical peel, but I say quick in quotations because it's going to take about 20 days, and it's going to be very noticeable that you're doing a chemical peel because your skin is just going to shed like crazy. So for some people it's just like, if you start to notice like lots of patches, whatever topicals you're putting on, you can maybe like boost it up to doing it twice a day or 3 times a day, because I do also think your topicals and what you're taking internally, the stuff you're taking internally is what's making the new skin, and your topicals are going to be I mean, their job is to not only get rid of the old skin, but also kind of like halt any of the like the tyrosinase process. So you're not making any more of that dark skin. Now, there are some chemical peels that will just peel your skin, and then it'll just show you the layer underneath. And then there's other chemical peels that will not only take off that first top layer, but it'll actually be penetrating and lightening the skin underneath as well. So it's almost like you're marinating in it. And so those peels are more like the peel from the SHC glutathione. Their website, it actually works to actively lighten. So if you're doing some peels and you're just putting it on and then you're rinsing it off, and then your skin starts to peel a couple days later or something like that, you know, those types, they work great if you've already been on glutathione or some type of oral lightener for a while, because then it'll help you to show the new skin underneath that's already lighter than what you would normally be. For, you know, those basic chemical peels, it's just going to basically take off the top layer of skin, and then, you know, your own skin that you naturally make on a day-to-day is, you know, it's going to come through. So yes, it'll be brighter, but not necessarily lighter. So there definitely is a big difference between chemical peels that are actively lightening your skin and taking off that top layer, and chemical peels that are just taking off that top layer and it's going to reveal brighter looking skin. When it comes to topicals, I mean, it's much the same. Like, you know, some topicals will like work to like halt any type of pigmentation that could be happening, and while others will just be more of doing, you know, the superficial type work. But doing a chemical peel, either one, especially when you get to the point where you've been on a regimen for a long time, any type of chemical peel will definitely help to get those patches off quicker. It's not going to remove all of the patches, so just know, even if all of your skin peels, understand that some of these patches like go deeper, like goes pretty deep. So I mean, for me, I'm not too worried about it, especially with the mequinol and the retinol that I'm on. I feel like within this next month, a lot of the patches that I have that, you know, it looks like dirty skin, a lot of those will be like gone. I'm not even, tomorrow will be 3 weeks and the mequinol, so I'm not even there yet. And so I definitely think even another month of this, I probably won't have the patches that I have that are so, you know, I mean, it's pretty noticeable. Like I said, right now, today isn't like a good day because, I don't know, something about the lighting and everything. But my last video, I could see it while I was editing. And, you know, even some of you guys could like notice it, like your skin looks kind of dirty, and it's just like, yeah, that's that old skin, and, you know, the new skin underneath. And so it's always very, very exciting when you're starting to get, you know, quicker results, and especially when they are noticeable. So yeah, I'm so excited. I'm so excited. You definitely want to be careful. I don't want to recommend over exfoliating because you don't want to overwork your skin with some of these topicals. It is breaking down that top layer of skin chemically, and so you don't want to be too abrasive with it. You don't want to give yourself hyperpigmentation. So like with exfoliation, I would not make it a habit to exfoliate daily. I would definitely make it a habit to maybe do it a couple times a week or something like that. But it just, I think it depends on, you know, the topicals that you're using. So if you're not really using a whole lot of topicals, I would see why people would do some type of daily exfoliation, maybe with a sugar or a salt scrub, or maybe even using a Korean Italy cloth. But the Korean Italy cloth, it really works best when you're taking a bath prior. So you want to take a bath and you want to soak your skin in the bath water and add whatever you want to add to it, if it's Epsom salt or bath bomb, whatever that you can do to soften your skin more. But you want to kind of like marinate in that for a good 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and then you want to use it. So you definitely want to soften it up, and this is going to help protect you against hyperpigmentation and causing little tears in your skin and things like that. So there definitely is a way to get really good results with exfoliating. Now, does everyone have time to do that every day? Probably not. But just know, like, if you've had an issue with that, or if you've had issues where you've like overworking your skin and you can see that it's actually getting darker when you're exfoliating, then that's generally the problem. Or you should just stick to your topicals and let your topicals do the job. And even though it might look a little, you know, uneven at times, just know like it'll pass. It's just, your stuff doing its job. And so just like you have to deal with your skin looking crazy when you're doing, you know, a chemical peel, definitely when like it's like one of those like really good chemical peels that's going to take like 17 to 20 days to fully shed, you know, you just kind of have to like deal with it. And like I said, this process is not attractive. But you know, the end results are, you know, definitely going to be something that you're going to probably really like. I'm not even completely done with, and I'm already really liking my results, so that just goes to show you. But of course, I've been on everything for like a while now. I mean, with the mequinol, I still have one more week to go until I'm a month, but that's definitely accelerating my results. But also, I notice usually on MSM something about after like that 6-month mark, things just start happening so much quicker. And so I just think it takes a long time for everything to build up in your blood, and yeah, for your skin to really get the most of what you're taking.